Thoroughbred Week with John Henderson is presented by Adena Springs, Ashford Stud, BC2A Paste, Bloodstock Research, Breeders' Cup, Claiborne Farm, GLC 5500, Gainesway, Horse Sense, Keeneland, Lanes End, Malone's, OCD Pellets, Old Colony Insurance Services, Pin Oak Stud, Quillen Leather and Tack, Spendthrift Farm, Thoroughbred Times, Warrendale Sales, and Woods Edge Farm.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Thoroughbred Week, featuring 10 stakes from 7 tracks, including a 3-year-old colt who passed up the Kentucky Derby to take the Grade 2 Peter Pan Stakes. We begin with fillies and mares sprinting over the turf at Churchill Downs in the Unbridled Sydney Stakes. Platinum Exchange, the 2-1 favorite. Mark Johnson picks up the call.
They took the quarter in 21-4 on the far turn. Platinum Exchange has now won the battle for the lead. Extravaganza Racing in second position. Honey Child on the outside is in third. You're Oh So Bad made the turn in fourth. Followed on the outside by Palazzo Babe. Looking for racing room. Smart is Empress racing now in deep stretch. And it's Honey Child who has now got the lead. On the inside, You're Oh So Bad. Down the outside, here comes Wild About Marie. Wild About Marie surges to the lead. Racing to line, Wild About Marie, back-to-back wins in the Unbridled Sydney for rider Sean Bridgman.
Wild About Marie, the last to first winner by a length and a quarter over Smarty's Empress. Sean Bridgman aboard the OBS Sales Graduate in 56-1. A 3-time stakes winner last year, Wild About Marie was coming off an 8th place finish in the Giants Causeway Stakes at Keeneland. The 5-year-old mare by Wildcat Air was bred in Florida by Bobby Dodd, Tanya Jurgens, and Dry Creek Stables, and was a $40,000 OBS August yearling. Trained by Jeff Thornberry, Wild About Marie has earned $328,000 for Ike and Dawn Thrash. From turf sprinters to turf routers in the Roundtable Stakes at Hollywood Park. Dahmer, the 11-10 favorite. Vic Stauffer picks up the call.
Much closer order up the backstretch with Lumberyard Jack. Now the clear leader towards the half-mile pole. He leads by a length. Dynamic Host is going to make the first run. It's an early run at the front runner, and Dynamic Host and David Flores up into second, 3/4 of a length off the lead. The filly Quaintly stays at the rail. She's only a length and a half now from the front, but I Crushed It is just outside of Quaintly. Porfido is 4 from the front. Dahmer joins her. Then St. Joel Gold Wacky, top of the stretch. Dynamic Host at the throat latch of Lumberyard Jack. Lumberyard Jack just ahead in front, and he has just left the rail wide open, and Quaintly is happy to go through. Meanwhile, Dahmer is picking off horses in the center, 4 of them to the final furlong, and Dahmer is the strong one. It is Dahmer to take over the lead. Now 2 in front of Quaintly, who is in second. Then Dynamic Host and Porfido, but Dahmer levels out, and he's straight and strong to win the Roundtable.
Favored Dahmer draws off to defeat the filly Quaintly by 4.5 lengths. Joel Rosario, the winning jockey, in 2:27-3. A handicap winner in England the last 2 years, Dahmer was beaten only a neck in his U.S. debut, the Grade 3 Tokyo City Cup. The Mike Mitchell trainee was coming off a 4th place finish in the Grade 2 San Juan Capistrano handicap. The Irish-bred 5-year-old gelding is by the King Mambo stallion, Dubai Destination. Imported by Edward Brown Jr., Dahmer has earned $114,000. Watch Thoroughbred Week online on the Keeneland website at Keeneland.com. Click on the sales banner, then select Video and Thoroughbred Week. Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with the Grade 3 Selene Stakes coming up in this segment. 3-year-old stakes action is presented by BC2A Paste. Reduce the likelihood of tying up with BC2A Paste. We begin on the turf at Golden Gate with the ALCATRAZ Stakes. Chips All In, the 3-2 favorite. Michael Rona has the call.
At the end of the back stretch, Chips All In a half length from Stony Fleece, and 2 to Longview Drive, 2 lengths to Cahill Chrome, 3 to Pepnick, then the Roan Ranger. 5/16 to run. Chips All In maintains the lead, creeps about a length in front now from Stony Fleece, and 2 to Longview Drive, 2 more lengths to Cahill Chrome, then Pepnick into the home stretch. Chips All In clear by 2 lengths. Stony Fleece is second, 4 lengths to Longview Drive, who's doing very little. At the 8th pole, Chips Chips All In, a 2-length leader. Stony Fleece still second. Longview Drive still third. The order hasn't changed a lot. Will it change late as Stony Fleece comes after Chips All In? Makes a big dive and it got close in the ALCATRAZ.
And let's take another look at that photo finish. It's the favorite Chips All In with the lead in deep stretch with Aaron Greider up. The 2-to-1 second choice Stony Fleece is closing strongly with Kevin Krieger aboard. And Stony Fleece gets up to take the photo by a nose. Barrett Sells graduate Stony Fleece covers 1 1/16 on the turf in 1:43 3. Winner of the Grade 3 Generous Stakes last November, Stony Fleece was coming off a runner-up finish in the Snow Chief Stakes over the main track at Hollywood Park. The California-bred colt by DeCarchi was a $1,200 Barrett's January 2-year-old. Trainer John Sadler claimed the winner for $40,000 out of a winning effort at Del Mar last summer. Now owned by Gary and Cecil Barber, Stony Fleece has earned nearly $292,000. To Presque Isle Downs for 3-year-old fillies in the inaugural stakes. Brilliant Katie, the even money favorite. Ron Mullis has the call.
Gypsy Robin reaches the turn with 3/8 of a mile to go, and Scrumptiddlyuptious now challenges up for second. Brilliant Katie still down along the rail, taking her time. Behind them is Mally, 3 more lengths back to Venetian Sonata. At the top of the stretch, Gypsy Robin's going to try to take this field gate to wire, but Brilliant Katie has something to say about it, and Brilliant Katie's coming after Gypsy Robin. Gypsy Robin on the inside, Brilliant Katie up on the outside. Late run coming in here from Mally. It's still Gypsy Robin digging in, holding on to that lead. Brilliant Katie trying to get to her, but can't. Gypsy Robin just has too much for her, and Gypsy Robin is clear by 3. Gypsy Robin wins the inaugural stakes.
6-5 second choice Gypsy Robin draws off to defeat the favorite Brilliant Katie by 4 lengths. Julio Garcia aboard the Keeneland Sells graduate in 1:09 4. Now 3 for 3 over synthetic tracks. Gypsy Robin broke her maiden first asking by 7.5 lengths at Keeneland at 2. And the Wesley Ward trainee returned from a 7-month layoff for a 3-length victory in the Grade 2 Beaumont Stakes. The filly by Daher was bred in Kentucky by Cloyce Clark Jr. and was a $27,000 Keeneland September yearling. Gypsy Robin has earned $245,000 for Ward, Gatewood Bell, and Wes Welker. To Woodbine for the Grade 3 Selene Stakes. Canadian champion 2ND Wee, the 1-2 favorite. Dan Loisel picks up the call.
And the champion 2ND Wee, her ears are right up in the air, just waiting for McElhaney to give her instructions. She leads by 2. On the outside, Wait Till Dawn inches closer now. Indeniables in the red cap between fillies. Then we have Katie Get Excited down toward the rail and 2.5 lengths off the lead. Then Hilda's Legacy. Dixie Strike has been shuffled to a trailing position and is 5 lengths off the lead. 49-1 for the opening half mile. You would have to think advantage to NDWE as they run into the turn. On the outside, Wait Till Dawn's a length behind. Dixie Strike has made a menacing move from last to second in the blink of an eye, and Katie Get Excited is getting underway. 13-2 for 3/4 to NDWE at the top of the stretch in the Selene, and they sprint for home now. To NDWE has the lead. Dixie Strike is plugging away on the inside. Dixie Strike on the inside has caught to NDWE from last to first. Dixie Strike streaking to the wire to win the Selene.
7-2 second choice Dixie Strike runs by to NDWE to defeat the odds-on favorite by a length. Patrick Husband's up in 1:43 3. Winner of the Ontario Lassie Stakes over the track and trip at 2, and the Florida Oaks at 1 1/16 on turf in her 3-year-old debut. Dixie Strike was coming off a 5th place finish in the Grade 1 Ashland Stakes. The Ontario-bred filly by Dixie Union was a $45,000 Canadian sale yearling. Trained by Mark Cassey, Dixie Strike has earned nearly $488,000, racing in the colors of John Oxley. The Lanes End Stallion of the week is top sophomore sire English Channel, who is on fire lately. Over the weekend, his Strait of Dover demolished the field by 6.5 lengths in the $150,000 Marine Stakes, while Sark broke his maiden at Churchill Downs. Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with more 3-year-old stakes action in this segment. First up is Calder for the In Summation Stakes. Fort Loudon, the 2-5 favorite. Once again, here's Bobby Newman.
Hello Prince and Jose Garcia show the way to the far turn. It's Hello Prince in front by about a length and a half, almost two from Tell All You Know. Ari's Pride runs third. Shock him again. Made an early run, but now he's losing ground. Fort Loudon is getting involved. And Fort Loudon, the Stallion Stakes champ from last year, is now packed 4 wide going to the quarter pole, but he is advancing smartly. And here comes Fort Loudon in those familiar purple and gold colors. He's wide into the stretch, but closing in on Hello Prince as they straighten away. Hello Prince has to hold off Fort Loudon. These two well clear of the others. Hello Prince inside, still just in front. Fort Loudon trying to push on by. He's done it now. Fort Loudon and Luis Gerardo in front and getting away from Hello Prince. It's Fort Loudon on his way to winning the In Summation.
Odds-on favorite Fort Loudon runs by Hello Prince to score by 2 lengths. Luis Gerardo up in 1:10-2. Fort Loudon broke his maiden first asking by 10 lengths over the track at 2, then went on to sweep the Florida Stallion Stakes Series at Calder. However, the Stanley Gold trainee was winless in his last 4 starts and was last seen finishing 6th in the Grade 1 Florida Derby. The colt by Awesome, of course, was bred in Florida by his owner, Jack's or Better Farm. Fort Loudon has earned $430,000. Fort Loudon paid $280 to win and is the Malone's favorite of the week, presented by Malone's, Lexington's favorite steakhouse. To Belmont Park for the UNI Stakes. Hardened Wildcat, the even money favorite. Tom Durkin picks up the call.
Currency Swap, Tight End, Touchdown, and Brian. Those 3, 5 lengths ahead of Hardened Wildcat. Another 4 back to Phil Dancer under a ride with 3 furlongs remaining here. Currency Swap. 3/4 of a length, Tight End, Touchdown. Second, the half was up in 47 seconds flat. Brian on the outside third. Hardened Wildcat starting to come alive now. Hardened Wildcat gets within 4 of the leader as the field turns for home, and that leader is Currency Swap. Currency Swap in front by 2. Brian full out running in second. Nothing left for Tight End, Touchdown. Hardened Wildcat is third with less than a furlong to go. Currency Swap driving 2-length lead. Brian running second, and Hardened Wildcat, who will be third, on the wire. Currency Swap was a 3/4 of a length winner.
3-2 second choice Currency Swap, the front running winner by 3/4 over Brian. Rajiv Mirage aboard the OBS Sales Graduate in 1:22-2. After winning the Grade 1 Hopeful Stakes last summer, Currency Swap was sidelined with an ankle chip. Second to Gemologist in a Gulfstream allowance race in his 3-year-old debut, the Terry Pompey trainee was coming off an 11th place finish in the Grade 3 Illinois Derby. The colt by High Cotton was bred in Florida by Stonecliff Farm and originally sold for $42,000 at the OBS October sale. Currency Swap has earned $248,000 for Clarovich Stables Incorporated and William Lawrence. To Hollywood Park for the Grade 3 Las Barrera Memorial Stakes. Only 4 went postward with Drill, the 6-5 favorite. Vic Stauffer has the call.
They leave the backstretch in the 19th. Las Barrera Memorial Stakes, and American Act is riding the rail very nice right now. He leads by 3/4 of a length from Gunboat, who's on the attack in second. Meanwhile, Drill bides his time in third. He's in the red and yellow and only 2 from the front, and he's joined by Boompa. Any one of the 4 can win the Las Barrera top of the stretch. American Act is trying to get out just a bit, but Garrett Gomez gives him a tap on the right shoulder, and he straightens away with the lead. Drill is going to split horses and join stablemate Gunboat, and Drill is on the move, and here he comes. American Act. Drill splits horses and now takes over the lead. American Act back to second. Gunboat is third. It is Drill and Martin Garcia to win the Las Barrera.
Favored Drill runs by American Act to win by half a length for a 1-2 finish by Keeneland Sales Graduates. Martin Garcia up in 1:22-4. Winner of the Grade 1 Del Mar Futurity last summer and the Grade 3 San Vicente Stakes earlier this season, Drill is now 4 for 6 in one-turn sprints. The Bob Baffert trainee finished second in his last start, the 1-mile Northern Spur Stakes at Oaklawn Park. The colt by Lawyer Ron was bred in Kentucky by Stonewall Farm Stallions. Drill has earned nearly $420,000 for Carl Watson, Mike Pegram, and Paul Whiteman. The colt was consigned by Blue Water Sales to the 2010 Keeneland September yearling sale, where he was purchased by Morning Wood Farm for $300,000. Multiple graded stakes winner Drill, the Keeneland Sales Graduate of the Week. To Woodbine for the Marine Stakes. Holiday Promise, the 2-1 favorite. Dan Loisel has the call.
48 4/5 of a second for the opening half mile. Incredicat, joined by Straight of Dover as they run to the 3/8 pole. Incredicat by a neck. Straight of Dover on the outside second. Classic Bryce getting niggled on in third now. Then we have All Squared Away in fourth, who's 2.5 lengths off the lead. Then Holiday Promise and a Bridge Loan. They come over to the top of the stretch. Straight of Dover outside. Incredicat. Those two in a heated duel, and Straight of Dover has taken the lead. It is Straight of Dover and Justin Stein in the run to the 8th pole. Incredicat's going to try the outside now. Classic Bryce is back in third position, and it's Straight of Dover, last 16th of a mile. Straight of Dover, magnificent in the Marine.
Straight of Dover by Lanes and Stag in English Channel draws off to defeat Classic Bryce by 6.5 lengths. Justin Stein, the winning jockey, in 1:43.2. The third consecutive victory over the track for Straight of Dover, who was making his stakes debut in his first start around 2 turns. After going winless in a pair of maiden races at Hastings Park at 2, the British Columbia bred colt was transferred to trainer Danny Vella at Woodbine. Straight of Dover has earned $164,000, racing for his breeder, Canyon Farms. Now to John Siegel with this week's Triple Crown Insider, presented by Northern Afleet, standing at TaylorMade Farm.
This week on TCI, we bring back the roundtable with Ray Pollock from Pollock Report and Ed DeRosa from Brisnet.com to discuss Preakness 137. With 4 of the top 5 finishers in this year's Kentucky Derby back in action, will I'll Have Another be able to keep his Triple Crown dreams alive? Or will Bodemeister avenge his loss in the Kentucky Derby and extend the drought to 34 years without a Triple Crown winner? We also talk about the pace scenario and who we think will have to go early with Bodemeister to have a chance to win this year's Preakness. And of course, we can't forget the new shooters who are rested and ready to showcase their talents on the big stage, like the Dale Romans trainee Cosetti, who breezed a bullet in 58 and change at Churchill Downs on Monday, and another exciting Michael Match trainee, Teeth of the Dog, who was recently third to Gemologist in this year's Wood Memorial. You can watch this entire episode at TripleCrownInsider.com, and as always, make sure you come back next week right here on Thoroughbred Week.
The Peter Pan Stakes is coming up, but first here are the brisk speed ratings for the Preakness Stakes field. Time now for the feature race of the week, presented by Keeneland, investing in racing's future since 1936. It's the Grade 2 Peter Pan Stakes from Belmont Park. Mark Valesky, the 6-5 favorite. Here's the call by Tom Durkin.
And they're off. Summerfront bobbled coming out of the gate. And Right to Vote is being sent to the lead. Le Bernardin has some early speed, too. Right there in the early mix is the Lumber Guy. Good Morning Diva there on the far outside. And Mark Valesky also with the Vanguard. So moving up the backstretch run, and it will be Right to Vote who seizes the initiative here. The Lumber Guy now a length behind in second. After a quarter and 22 3/5 seconds. Le Bernardin runs along in third. And there goes Big Screen now to be fourth on the inside. Mark Valesky is kept within relative striking range here. 4.5 lengths from the lead. Now fifth on the outside. Hakama relatively close today. Sixth and saving ground. 2 lengths back to Master Rick, who's seventh on the outside. Good Morning Diva is eighth. Summer Front, who broke last in the field, is now ninth. And it's 5 lengths back to Street Life, the trailer. 45-1. Oh, a bruising half mile for the front runner here. Right to Vote has run a grueling opening half mile. The Lumber Guy's been right up on this vicious pace. Le Bernardin is right there on the outside. Hakama just 3 lengths behind. Mark Valesky and Rosie Napachnik now they're making their move with 3 furlongs to go. Getting within 3 lengths from the lead. They'll have to take the wide route into the stretch. Master Rick is following Mark Valesky as the field makes the turn into the stretch. And then it's big screen farther back in the field. Summerfront laboring down toward the rail. They're off the turn. Right to Vote has run 3/4 in 109 and 2. And here comes Mark Valesky, who had a perfect setup into the final furlong now. And it is Mark Valesky beginning to get away. Right to Vote's running a huge race today, and Street Life has made a run from last. Coming down to the finish, Mark Valesky, Rosie Napravnik, 1-length winners of the Peter Pan.
Favored Mark Valesky runs by 47-1 long shot Right to Vote to score by 1.25 lengths. Rosie Napravnik up in 148-1, a 102 brisk speed rating. After finishing a close second in both the Grade 2 Risen Star Stakes and the Grade 2 Louisiana Derby, Mark Valesky was sent to Churchill Downs to prepare for the Kentucky Derby. But his connections decided to pass on the Derby in favor of the Peter Pan. The colt by Proud Citizen was bred in Kentucky by his owner, Brereton C. Jones. Trained by Larry Jones, Mark Valesky has earned nearly $431,000. Rosie Napravnik with the Safe Ride of the Week, presented by Sally Horse Fans, the safest way to the winner's circle. We'll have the Preakness Stakes and much more next week here on Thoroughbred Week.
Thoroughbred Week with John Henderson has been presented by Adena Springs, Ashford Stud, BC2A Paste, Bloodstock Research, Breeders' Cup, Claiborne Farm, GLC 5500, Gainesway, Horse Sense, Keeneland, Lanes End, Malone's, OCD Pellets, Old Colony Insurance Services, Pin Oak Stud, Quillen Leather and Tack, Spendthrift Farm, Thoroughbred Times, Warrendale Sales, and Woods Edge Farm. Produced by John Henderson in association with Scott Ryan.